Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about propagating a jade plant, or money tree as they're commonly known in the UK, or money plant. There's all sorts of different names for it, but its proper name is a jade plant. So all these have been grown from either stem cuttings, like these ones here, or from single leaves like this one here. So today's video I'm just going to take you through the whole process. So I'm going to take you, show you my main jade plant, my mother plant, which is really quite an old jade plant. And we're going to go take a leaf off, and I'm going to show you the whole process of growing a new plant from a leaf, or from stems, or branches. So I hope you will enjoy today's video. Hope you'll find the information useful. So if you stay tuned, get back to you in a sec and we'll make a start on today's video. Okay guys, so this is the mother plant that we're going to be using. This is a jade plant, commonly known as a money tree in the UK. So this is a really quite an old specimen that we've got here. So we're going to remove a leaf. We're just going to pick a leaf off, like so. And I'm going to place this leaf on some compost, just on the surface, and every day I'm going to give it a quick spray with some water, and I'm not going to touch it for at least a few weeks. Okay, so this is the leaf we just took off, along with another leaf which I started about 3 weeks ago. So I've just put them on the surface of the compost. And as you can see, this one here is rooted and started sprouting little tiny plants, little jade plants. And the other leaf probably take about 2 or 3 weeks for a root to start appearing. And it will appear from the base where you separated it from the plant. I'm also doing this with some stem cuttings, so I will show you them in a second. But we're just going to leave this alone, spray it once a day. Don't keep the soil wet, but just give it a little mist of water every day. That's all it needs. And we'll get back to these in a few weeks, and hopefully we'll see some more progress, if the cat doesn't eat them. Okay, so this is about 2 or 3 weeks later now. As you can see, the leaf that we had in there originally has grown quite a bit. And the leaf that we took off at the beginning of the video from our jade plant, from the mother plant which I've got, has changed up colour a little bit, but don't worry about that. So you can see this one here is probably going to have at least 2 or 3 plants on it, and hopefully this one we'll just pick it up and have a look. It should have a root, just tiny little root there, you can see. So that'll start growing now quite quickly, that root, and within the next couple of weeks it should start sprouting some leaves, and it's the beginning of a new plant. So we'll pop this back on the soil, just make sure the root's in contact with the soil, and give it a nice little spray of water once a day, once every other day, and we'll get back to this again in a few more weeks and I'll give you another update. Okay, so this is about another 3 weeks later now. Unfortunately I didn't get to do an update in between then, so there's quite a lot of growth now from the last video, from the last update, but these have all rooted in now. So the leaf that we put in last seems to be growing just 1 plant, but the first leaf seems to have at least 3 on there. So the next task is to try and get these out of the pot and separate them up. But before I do that, I just want to show you some stem cuttings that I've taken. Okay, so these are the stem cuttings which I've taken. These 2 I've not long put in. So I literally just broke off a stem from the plant. Removed most of the leaves, left a few at the top there. And I've just placed, this is just core coconut husk fibre. You can use sand, gritty soil, anything really, as long as the moisture can get on the stem, so that the roots will come out. I've not long put these in there, so I'm not expecting to be able to see any roots yet, but I'll take them out of the pot in a minute and just have a quick look. This one was probably about 3 months old now, and as you can see, it's got, you can tell when it's got roots because the leaves will all perk up. They'll start drying out a bit like these ones, but as soon as it's rooted in, it'll recover and it'll start looking nice and healthy like this one. And I know this one's definitely got some roots on it because I've already had a look. So I'll just get them out of the pot quick and we'll have a look at these two. Okay, so I know this one's got roots, so I'll show you this one first. And I'm not expecting anything from the other two yet. This one here, you can't really see much. There might be a root there. And I don't really want to remove the soil from this at the moment because it's still establishing itself. But this one will have some roots. And these ones here, I'm not expecting any roots yet. Although saying that, you can see there, it does have roots. See the stem goes up to there and you can see the roots coming out there. I'll try and zoom in a bit. See this, there's a root there. These are roots here. So these ones are taken. They're very easy to root, so I fully expect them to take. And they have. Anyway, we'll get back on to our leaves that we've been propagating. This was just something else I wanted to show you. Okay everyone, so it's been probably about 2 months since the first leaf went in, and then a few weeks later, maybe a month later, I put the second leaf in, and they seem to be doing well. But I want to get them out of this compost because at the time this was all I had, and this is just multi-purpose sort of wood chippy compost stuff, and I really want to get them in a nice succulent mix, like a sandy mix. And also I want to have a look at the roots and see if I can maybe separate off some of these plants. So I'm going to get them out of this pot and see what's what. Okay, so I've just tipped them out of the pot, and I'm just going to work away at this soil, try and get it off the roots, and try not to damage too many. And once I've done that, I'm going to make up some nice fresh potting mix. So there's that one there, it's come off quite easily. Doesn't seem to have a huge amount of roots, but you'll find with the succulents and cactus and things like that, they don't grow a huge amount of roots. So there's that plant there, grown from this leaf, and this one I should have a bit more roots than the other one. But I'll get this one off and see if maybe we can separate off some of these, because I have a feeling there's about 3 or 4 separate plants in there. But we'll see, they might all just be same one. Okay, so I managed to separate these off. So there's actually 4 plants here, but I only managed to salvage 3. But that's fine. So each one of these has got some decent roots. And we're going to pot these up. I'm going to put them all in the same pot for now. And this was the original leaf. I could put that back in and it would keep producing plants. So I'm not going to, because I've got enough now. And I just don't need any more. But I'll get them potted up and get back to you. Okay, so I've repotted the 4 plants that I managed to get from them 2 leaves. So I've just given them a good water, and we'll leave them for a while for the roots to establish, and we'll see how they go. So this was the stuff they were in originally. This is just normal compost, which is full of all sorts of stuff. This is what I've put them into. So this is multi-purpose compost mixed with sharp sand. around about half and half ratio. They should do a lot better in that. It's much more free draining, and they don't like to sit in water at all. So I'll keep you updated on these guys. Okay, so time for a quick update on these leaves that we've been propagating from the jade plants. So this one here was the one that we took off at the beginning of the video, which was just, you can still see the original leaf there. And this one just grew the one plant. So this is about 3 months in total after I put that leaf in there. So they do grow quite slowly, but they're doing well, and they should have plenty of roots on them. I don't really want to take them out of the pots at the moment because it's quite a loose sandy mix, and I'm going to end up tipping the whole thing out. And these 3 here were off the first leaf, which I put in before the one that we took off. And we separated them off, and we got these 3 plants from one leaf. So as you can see, they're doing really well. These have been kept indoors underneath my grow light, which is why they're not as green as that one there, for example, just because it's not natural light. But they're all doing well, growing quite fast now. So they're fine in these pots for quite a while because they grow so slowly. So they'll be fine in these pots for probably at least a year or so. That's the 3rd one there, the smallest one, but it's still growing and doing well. And obviously the other ones which I showed you earlier on, the stem cuttings, the rooted stem cuttings, these 2 here are the newest ones. This one was one which I took off, it's probably about 6 months ago by now, so it hasn't really grown much. You can see this little bit here. But originally it was just 4 leaves, and then once it's rooted in, it's sending up new growth. But they do grow very slowly, so don't expect too much from them. But once they get going, and once they get a bit bigger, they should make nice little plants. Anyway guys, so that's what I wanted to show you. I'll get back to you in a sec. Okay everyone, thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this video useful. So today well not today, but the past sort of 6 months or so, we've been growing these jade plants from cuttings and leaves. So it's quite a simple thing to do. Just put them down over there. But hopefully I've explained the whole process to you, and if you know anyone with a jade plant or something, you can ask them to take a leaf off. And now you know that you can make a new plant, or maybe even 3 from one leaf or more. So it's quite a good thing to know. You can also do this for other succulents as well, so it's not just the jade plant. It will work with many other different succulents. They tend to grow quite easy from leaves and cuttings, because in the wild they get knocked off, they fall on the floor, and that's how the plant propagates. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If there's anything that I've left out, or you've got any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you did enjoy today's video, if you could subscribe to my channel, that would be brilliant. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a great week. I'll see you on the next one.